this clip right here, I actually want to keep the talking. You are going to, actually you're going to want to do it a little bit more over here. And I'm really sorry, I have a I have a split on my finger, so right clicking is really not good. Okay. Oh my gosh, why isn't it working? Oh, is it because of my computer? Oh, I was hitting the wrong thing. Great. It is on your, it's going to be Alt on a, if you're on a PC, but it doesn't matter because if you're not on a PC and you're on your iPad, it's going to give you the options to do that right from the screen because this here is all going to be touchable. So you're going to be able to do it right from there. But for purposes of this, it's actually Alt. And so I just put, I think they call it key, I don't know what they call, I can't remember what they call this. But, and that one I don't like, I want to move it here. So what this allows you to do is isolate this one part of the song. So say you wanted to get louder or say you wanted it to drop it really down, low. And then what it does is it can bring this up, which is me talking. So if you were to play it, it's going to sound something like this. This is actually an entrance and an exit, so you have two ways of entering or exiting your apartment. And let's say you wanted the background music to be a little bit higher, and just keep in mind that 1 or 2% sometimes is significant. Kitchen, brand new stainless steel appliances. I like 10%, that's good. So that's how you're going to fade in and keep the background music lower, and then you're going to make sure you increase your talking. So that's really it. The other thing is I just want to mention is there is stabilization. So stabilization is this little button up here. If you were really shaky, and I'm not particularly in this video, but if you had a very, maybe you had high heels on or something, and it's just like a little bit shaky, you can click on this and click stabilize, and you'll see that it's going to kind of analyze your dominant motions, and it's going to try to stabilize it for you. The disadvantage is that you lose quality. So we're going to wait a second. Hopefully it finishes quickly. And it just fixes it for you sort of in your natural motion. So it tries to take your dominant motion, make it as visually stable as possible, but when it does that, it, like I said, changes the quality, and you will see areas of the film of the movie clip sort of gets a little like wavy or blurry almost, and that is the stabilization, kind of like internally working. So the other thing here is sorry, I really wanted this to wait, but you can change the color. Let's go back. Is it still working? Yes. This is also how much of a stabilization you need. I shot a video once in downtown New Haven for the novella, and I did not have the right equipment for the day, and I ultimately had to stabilize everything, and I was up at 100% for basically every video. So this allows you to do that. This right here is a rolling shutter, so that is if you use a camera, an actual DSLR, and you're actually taking video, there is movement with the shutter and with the lens automatically moving, and so this helps fix that. I'm going to let that go. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to my media, and I am going to upload a picture of some sort, and I'm just gonna like pick anything really. I'm gonna pick. Okay, that's probably okay. These are all my virtual Zoom backgrounds. Okay, so let's find a photo. Oh, you know what would be kind of nice? I'm going to do, let's just say this is trail run. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'll give it a minute for it to upload. And let's say like I think my video is ready to go, but then I'm like, you know what? I want to put my logo in the beginning and at the end. It's okay, you can still do that. So I literally just drag this here in between, in front of this, and then I moved this all the way kind of to the end. So it starts, the music starts. But then because of that, I just added a few seconds. So I'm going to want to make sure I take this out and still drag that so it finishes through the music. Now you'll notice here, if you play this real quick, just to get an idea from the beginning, it moves. So that's not great. So I'm going to have this highlighted. You always want to make sure what you're editing is highlighted. And you're going to go to the Ken Burns and see, that's what they call it, what, you know, you can kind of play with this so that I don't like any of those actually. We can fit it, but then it's going to look like that. Let's see. That's not terrible, but a little movement might be nice. So let's just do like that. And let's just preview it. Okay, that was pretty good. I mean, you can get as particular as you want. Again, highlight what you want to work on. I just didn't love the fact, and it shows you what's beginning and ending. It's just really close to the bottom, so I just want to move that. And then I'm going to do the same thing and put this on the end. Now you can create a graphic like this on Canva, and just if you just didn't notice what I did there, I extended this out. You can create a graphic like this on Canva. It can have your phone number, call for more info, your specials, whatever you want to kind of put in at the time. The other thing is that it's very easy to change. So then, you know, if you just want to edit this one video, you're simply going to only edit these two end graphics. This same concept applies if you wanted to insert anything in the middle, like between video clips, you wanted to put in photos, you can do that as well. So let's just see what the end will look like. I'm just curious. Okay. That's better. There's not really a lot of movement though, so let's see what we got. Again, make sure you edit what you want to edit. Oh, it's because I have crop to fill. Just some subtle movements make a big difference. Perfect. That's good. The other thing is the transitions. If you really, really want to get into it, you can add a transition. So for the purposes of this, let's do the spin. Every time you add a transition, you are adding time. So you just have to keep that in mind. So I don't know if you guys caught that very quickly. It spun in. And because I've added some stuff, this isn't great. So I can either delete these and start over, but I don't really mind so much because it's just a vacant apartment. So from here, you can get. Yeah, and I stopped talking pretty much right there, so that works. And so the other thing I want to show you quickly is titles. So you can add titles. I try to stick to something pretty. kind of like generic, easy. So I'm just going to add a 4-second title here. And let's pretend that this is called the Willow floor plan. And we'll say it's a 2-bedroom. Okay, and you're just going to enter that there. Now you'll notice that I just noticed that this stabilizer is actually, seemed like it was still working. Maybe did it just finish? Alright, so we're going to play it right from there just to get an idea. I don't love how that title comes in and comes out, but you have a lot of options to change it. Let's say I want it to be there a little bit longer, so that's 12 seconds, that's a long time, but let's say like 10. You can change that. If you click here and double click, you have the option of changing the font, size, color, all of that. Some of them are really creative. You know, if you are making a real video, you can have like credits rolling. Anything up here does allow you to preview it, which is kind of nice if you just scroll over it. So this is a very hypothetical video, but it gives you an idea of what you can do on iMovie. iMovie is really not a bad video editing tool. People will get really into the ins and outs of the software that's out there, and some people really hate it. It is actually very in-depth should you get that involved in it. You literally can learn a lot and do a lot with iMovie, and it's free, and so I think that's why people tend to kind of look down on it, because there's so many other services out there that you can use. Alright, so say you're done with this, the next thing you want to do is you want to upload it. You can upload the file right to your computer itself, so right to your desktop for instance. You can upload right to YouTube, if your Facebook's connected, right to Facebook, email, all of that. I'm going to go right to YouTube because that makes the most sense for me. I'm going to call this the iMovie tutorial, that's what I did. Everything about this you can kind of keep as you want. The resolution is really important, so you're going to have options here of what resolution you want. I try to keep everything in 1080 just because it's, you know, the better quality, and most people have some sort of device that they can, you know, look at a 1080 quality video. So it's usually not that big of a deal. You know, it gives you the size here. Not super small, not super big, but it's still a pretty decent file. So if your YouTube is connected, it's super easy. Now this right here is your copyright. So this is going to kind of tell you what you can and can't publish. So just keep in mind, you know, the songs aren't our songs, and that's where the iMovie. Those pre-loaded clips and music that they have, they are very generic in nature, but you never have to worry about a copyright. That's it. So what it's doing is it's uploading right to my YouTube, and in a few minutes I'll be able to log in, just go to Google or go somewhere and log in and see that clip and share that clip. So that's it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.